Good evening, Erev Tov. This is an unusual Yom Hashoah experience. I am in the sanctuary of Temple Beth by myself, wishing you could all be here for us to commemorate this significant, important, and holy day together. But through the miracles of modern technology, we will get through like we have all of Pesach and Shabbat and weekdays with minions in the morning and in the evening, and we will move forward as we must. All of us, of course, are disappointed that because of the change in circumstances, we were so looking forward to hearing from Morris Dan, one of our beloved congregants, to hear his survivor story. We'll have to find another opportunity when the circumstances allow. But Morris, we wish you the best, and we will look forward to hearing your message at some other time. So for us to commemorate Yom HaShoah, I want to begin with a reading that we've read pretty much every year at this time. It's a very moving and powerful passage comparing the lives of two 13-year-olds, one of whom reached the age of bar mitzvah during the time of the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. The other, a typical American teenager living in the here and now, reflecting his experience, going through the experience of being a bar mitzvah. And the American teenager speaks for both of them, describing his bar mitzvah and the one of the young man who lived during the time of the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. It's called At My Bar Mitzvah and His. When I was 13, I became bar mitzvah. When he was 13, he became bar mitzvah. When I was 13, my teachers taught me to put tefillin on my arm. When he was 13, his teachers taught him to throw a hand grenade with his arm. When I was 13, I studied the pathways of the Bible and the Talmud. When he was 13, he studied the canals of Warsaw and the sewers of the ghetto. At my bar mitzvah, I took an oath to live as a Jew. At his bar mitzvah, he took an oath to die as a Jew. At my bar mitzvah, I blessed God. At his bar mitzvah, he questioned God. At my bar mitzvah, I lifted my voice and sang. At his bar mitzvah, he lifted his fists and fought. At my bar mitzvah, I read from the scroll of the Torah. At his bar mitzvah, he wrote a scroll of fire. At my bar mitzvah, I wore a new talit over a new suit. At his bar mitzvah, he wore a rifle and bullets over a suit of rags. At my bar mitzvah, I started my road of life. At his bar mitzvah, he began his road to martyrdom. At my bar mitzvah, family and friends came to say l'chaim. At his bar mitzvah, Rabbi Akiva and Trumpeldor and Hannah and her 7 sons came to escort him to heaven. At my bar mitzvah, they praised my voice, my song, my melody. At his bar mitzvah, they praised his strength, his courage, his fearlessness. When I was 13, I was called up to the Torah. I went to the Bima. When he was 13, his body went up in smoke. His soul rose up to God. When I was 13, I became bar mitzvah and lived. When he was 13, he became bar mitzvah and lives now within each of us. Had our service gone the way it was planned, a number of our survivors who live among us and or the second generation, the children or grandchildren of survivors, would have been called up to light the 6 candles, the way to memorialize the 6 million. I will light the candles for them, but I will call their names as if they were here with us. So for the first candle, I have the honor and privilege of standing in the place of Alfred and Toby Kalman and family. For the second candle, I have the honor and privilege of calling Joseph Kresh, Siggy Kalko, and Morris Dan. For the third candle, I have the honor and privilege of calling on Albert Brunn, Peter Colby, Bella and Benjamin Shepsman, and I will light the candle in their names. For the fourth candle, I have the honor and privilege of calling upon Janet Kerman, Esther Nadler, and Rose Pohl, and I will now light that candle in their name. For the fifth candle, I have the honor and privilege of calling on Lita Karp and Larry Kochman, and I will light the candle in their name. And for the sixth candle, I have the honor and privilege of calling on the Whitrocks, the Shmulewitzes, and the Silbernicks, and I now light the candle in their name. Some of you may be wondering, how can I internalize the meaning of Yom HaShoah other than coming online with us and listening to these words and experiencing this service and this program? It's not an easy thing to do, but a simple suggestion I offer you is to take advantage of the various organizations who devote their lives and existence to perpetuating the memory of the Shoah, of the Holocaust. I'm referring specifically to the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum and Yad Vashem in Jerusalem. If you can remember those names and try your Google to find them online, their websites will direct you to many, many incredibly wonderful and inspiring and dramatic videos that would be an appropriate way for you to devote time to either tonight and through tomorrow as well. So once again, the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum and or Yad Vashem. A few thoughts for us to think about on this special, sacred, holy day for remembering. We Jews think a lot about numbers. There's the numerical value of words and letters, but numbers mean something to us. When we say the number 6 million, it rolls off our lips and our tongue very easily. It comes out of our mouths as if it were nothing. But we need to really reflect on the meaning of that number. Who were the people behind those numbers? What were their names? The Nazis attempted to dehumanize them by limiting them to a number. And we must redeem their memory and reflect on their name and on the people that those names identified. So here are two different ways of helping us to appreciate the meaning and the power of the number 6 million. If we were to stand here and simply begin counting to 6 million, you know how long it would take us? It would take us 72 days at a rate of one number per second. 72 days of doing nothing else but to count off 1, 2, 3, etc. And that would mean doing so without stopping or pausing for any other activity. 72 days just to count 1 to 6 million. And every one of those seconds would be precious and filled with meaning. Similarly, if there was perhaps a moment of silence, let's say a minute, for every one of the 6 million, the world would be standing silent for 11 years, 151 days, 16 hours, and 40 minutes for a moment of silence for each of the 6 million. Yom HaShoah has at least 3 purposes and meanings. Number 1, to remember is a mitzvah. We are grounded in our collective memory of our history, including the good and the bad. Secondly, to struggle to discover meaning for us, the generation after the Shoah. For us to wrestle with the questions we inevitably ask, all of which are about redeeming the possibility of goodness and happiness from the depths of despair in light of the Shoah. And thirdly, to build a world for the generations that will follow ours, when the stories will all be secondhand, and which will be told with accents quite different from the ones of the witnesses who lived through it. To remember the past, to struggle with the present, and to build for the future. That is the 3-part purpose and meaning of this holy day. But there is one more ultimate meaning, which is to embrace the survivors who live among us, to express our infinite respect and awe of them for their courage, their stamina, their resilience, and their ability to rebuild and renew their lives. We want them to know, each and every one of them, we admire you so much. We are inspired by you. We love you. It is a privilege and a blessing to have you living among us in our congregation and in our community. May you go from chayil l'chayil, from strength to strength. I'm now going to recite the El Malei Rachamim, the traditional memorial prayer. El Malei Rachamim, Shochein Bamromim, Amtzei Menucha Nechona, Tachat Kanfei HaShechina, Bimalot, Kedoshim U'Tahorim, Kizohar HaRakia Mazirim, Et Nishmot Kol Acheinu, B'nei Yisrael. Anashim, Nashim V'taf, Shenehergu V'shenetbechu, V'shenisrefu, V'shenechneku, B'gan Eden Tehei Menuchatam, Ana Baal HaRachamim, Astirem B'seter Knafecha Le'olamim, Utzror B'tzror HaChayim, Et Nishmotehem, Adonai Hu Nachalatam, V'yanuchu V'shalom, Al Mishkevoteihem, V'nomar, Amen. Exalted, compassionate God, grant perfect peace in your sheltering presence among the holy and the pure, to the souls of our brothers and sisters, men, women, and children of the household of Israel, and so many others who were slaughtered and burned. May their memory endure, inspiring truth and loyalty in our lives. May their souls thus be bound up in the bond of life. May they rest in peace. And we say, Amen. Feel free to join along in singing Ani Ma'amin. Ani Ma'amin, Ani Ma'amin, Ani Ma'amin, Be'emunah Shelema, B'viat HaMashiach, B'viat HaMashiach, Ani Ma'amin, V'af al pi sheyitmamea, Im kol zeh Ani Ma'amin. I believe with perfect faith in the coming of the Messianic age, and though it may be delayed in coming, despite all that, I believe. Every year at Yom HaShoah, we join together in singing the hymn of the partisans. I'll just share the final verse in English. It continues to inspire. So never say that you now go on your last way, though darkened skies may now conceal the blue of day, because the hour for which we've hungered is so near. Beneath our feet, the earth shall yet thunder. We are here. The despair is intense. The memories are filled with pain. But the Jewish response is v'af al pi chen, in spite of it, we must go on. In spite of it, we must continue to endure. In spite of it, we must continue to live with hope. We use the special mourner's Kaddish that intersperses the words of the mourner's Kaddish with the named places where death occurred to our people. Yitgadal, Kishinev, the Yitgadash, Warsaw, Shemei Rabbah, Auschwitz, Be'oma Divrach Hirute, Dachau, V'yamlich Malchute, Buchenwald, V'chayechon Uvyomechon, Babiyar, Uvchaye Dechol Beit Yisrael, Baghdad, Ba'agala Uvizman Kariv, Chevron, V'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach, La'olam Ula'omei Olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, Kfar Etzion, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam, Mayans, v'yitnaseh v'yitadar, Theresienstadt, v'yitaleh v'yitalal, Treblinka, Shemei de Kudusha, Brichu, Bergen-Belsen, Le'elah, Vilna, Mikol Birchata v'shirata, Usha, Tushbachata v'nechemata, Masada, the Amiran be'olma, the destruction of the temples in Jerusalem, v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Before I conclude this service, I want to take this opportunity to profusely thank Heidi Carmel and Susan Weiss, who together with a wonderful committee planned so magnificently for this year's Yom HaShoah to really be a very special occasion. I hope that it still has been, and we simply want to thank Heidi and Susan and their committee for all the hard work they did in preparing for what we hoped this could be. Also want to remind everyone, or inform you, that a week from tomorrow, next Tuesday night, we are going to be, for the first time, celebrating communally and congregationally Yom HaAtzmaut, Israel's Independence Day. As you know, in Israel, the Independence Day begins with Yom HaZikaron, the Memorial Day for the fallen soldiers fighting for the defense of Israel, and then goes directly into the celebrations of Yom HaAtzmaut. So we will be having a program in a similar structure and vehicle next Tuesday night. Word will come out during the week. Dear friends, and especially our survivors, we want you to know how much your memories are ours and your hopes are ours as well. People often ask, what is the right way to respond to the terrible events contained in the word Shoah or Holocaust? The Jewish response is Am Yisrael Chai. We live, we continue to live, and we pledge to do all in our power to make sure that Jewish life will continue to exist after we're gone as well. That is our hope. So let's conclude with the Song of Hope, HaTikva. Kol od balevav penima, nefesh Yehudi homiya, ulfatei mizrach kadima, ayin litzion Sophia, od lo avda tikvateinu, ha tikva Shnot Alpayim, Li'otam Chavshi Be'artzeinu, Eretz Zion, Yerushalayim. Li'otam Chavshi Be'artzeinu, Eretz Zion, Yerushalayim. Have a good evening. Laila Tov.